Hey guys, NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list update videos. Today's date is Monday, June 15th, 2020. I'm actually getting to record this on Sunday for once. I actually am making time for it on Sunday, even though it's a little bit late. Anyway, this will have covered the week of June 8th through 14th. So, this was a very productive week overall in a number of different games. As you can see, lots of progress being made, but there are a few other games I want to discuss real quickly. First off, Star Wars Battlefront 2. I have actually heard that there's some mode, it's called like Hero Starfighter Assault or something. And if you play in that mode, you can apparently really easily defeat the 25 hero ships with fighter ships, which is awesome. So if that's true, I will definitely be playing that mode. I don't know if this one's going to be any easier there, but I've already done like 9, so without even trying too hard. Maybe not 9, but I've already at least made a little bit of progress on it, so it's not that bad. I got the Interceptor kill streaks, and I still need to destroy objectives. There's only a few of those left, so I haven't played this really much this past week, though. Then another game I want to bring up is GTA 5. They are now doing some kind of rewards thing where if you log in once in a month for every month until GTA 5 comes out on the PS5, you'll get a free $1 million online, which is great for a couple of the trophies that require a lot of money, mainly the one for spending, I believe it's $8 million on heist equipment, and I've been using the method of buy the armored Kuruma and then resell it for like 60% of what you paid for it. And that actually works pretty well overall, so that's a pretty solid method. And then finally, Destiny 2 looks like it just had some other major update. I guess it's the start of another season, but I'm nearly done with the prophecies. I need one more Radiolarian culture and one more Paradox Amplifier, the advanced versions of both, and to put those into the current tablet. And then I have one more after that, I think, and then I'll be done with that, which is pretty cool. So that'll be a little bit of progress done on that. But that is not what we are mainly here to talk about. We are mainly here to look at the list of trophies that I earned this past week, as well as a couple updates on real life. And I guess I'll go ahead and say that now. I've actually started a new job, which I'm very glad to finally be employed again. And it's actually a very, very easy job, very laid back. And it's laid back enough that I can easily bring my Vita with me and play my Vita. I could probably do the same with my Switch at some point or my laptop. There's no internet, but that's fine. I don't need it. So that's why you're going to see Sly 3 popping up on here. So I am extremely happy about that. It's a very boring job, but it pays really well, and it is that simple that I can bring my stuff to mess around with, which is awesome. The only thing is, obviously, it messes with my current schedule. And yeah, that's just not the best thing in the world because it's second shift. But, I'm not really going to complain. I mean, we were fine having one stream this past week on Saturday. Hopefully this week I'll be able to have a stream during the day one day this week. Last week was just really, really busy with some other stuff as well. So hopefully I can be back to 2 streams a week at some point, like maybe even this week, hopefully. So, as for actual trophies earned this week, first off, we got Fallout 76 sitting there at 100% completion. Wastelanders is done. God, I'm happy to be done with this. And I mean, again, the Allied trophies are not hard. They just take way too long. If you're not using exploits, then it will take a maximum, I think I calculated it out for the trophy guide, it'll take a maximum of 62 days to become allies with Crater if you do the preferred outcome of the quest every day, and a maximum of like 56 days for Foundation. And that's if you don't if you don't do all their other quests and stuff before it. But it's so long. It takes way too long. It's a ridiculous grind. But I am one of the first 150 people to actually 100% Fallout 76, which is awesome. And with that, it also means that I now have the Fallout franchise done to 100%, which is even more awesome. So very happy about that. Now, I don't know if 76 is going to get another DLC in the future. There's supposed to be some big Brotherhood of Steel comeback later in 2020, and that might have trophies. I really hope it doesn't. Or if it does, that they're easier than this, or at least less time-consuming. Because, I mean, this DLC wasn't hard. Like, it's just, complete each of the storylines, do this sort of new revamped tutorial, and then complete the ally quest lines and the gold bullion, which you'd be guaranteed to get if you were doing it legitimately along with these trophies. Like, you would get it easily by that point in time, but there's an easy way to do it. You can just put your gold bullion in the machine, like trade your treasury notes for it, and then re-buy the treasury notes and just do that back and forth. You don't even need to have 1,500 at one point in time. So that's an easy way to speed that up if it still works. I would hope it still does. I believe that the crater reputation glitch does still work. I believe it does. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe the foundation one works. I couldn't get it to work these last few weeks. But hey, you know, it's done. I am very glad to have it done. I mean, the DLC overall, it's maybe a 3 out of 10. It's really, I mean, it's no harder than anything else in the Fallout franchise. It just takes way too long, especially if you don't have 2 characters already at level 20. So I guess that since we've now finished off this game, we can actually go back and look at the main trophy list. I usually do that when I go back to finish off a DLC. So you have all of these trophies are either story quests, side quests, or event quests. Or events, I mean. I think that all of these are actually story, though. Like, all the ones through here should be story-related, even though they're in a weird order. So those are all pretty much story-related trophies. You have to build a camp and then build a total of 100 items, which is extremely easy. You can build and scrap them. Or if you're kind of into camp building the way I am, I've built a pretty nice camp that I like overall. And it has well over 100 items in it. Mistress of Mystery is a side quest. Personal Matters is a side quest. Queen of the Hunt is an event. Monster Mash is an event. Or I think this is like a daily quest. I mean, so basically the same thing. Scorched Earth is an event, and it is, of course, it was the hardest thing in the game for a long time, but it's gotten a lot easier now because people have such ridiculously overpowered builds now that a lot of the time, if you go down there when the event's happening, you can see the queen get killed in a matter of minutes by a strong team. So it's really not even that bad anymore, which is nice. Breach and Clear is a pretty easy event. I'm still surprised that Monster Mash and Breach and Clear have lower completion than Scorched Earth, because Scorched Earth was at least a lot harder back when it came out. You have a multiplayer trophy here, join 20 teams. You can't do it all on the same server, I don't believe. You can just server hop, though. It's pretty easy. You can do it all with the same person as well. Craft items, that's very easy. Reach level 100, it's a massive grind. Even if you do, like, double XP and stuff, it takes forever. That's why this Platinum takes over 100 hours, because I don't think there's currently any exploits in the game for it. Read magazines is easy. This one means get hit by the nuke. It's relatively easy, just requires a little bit of luck to be in the right lobby at the right time. Rank up a perk is pretty much unmissable. Pick locks and hack terminals is pretty easy. Mod weapons is pretty easy. You can grind them all out very easily, though, if you're having any trouble with it. Complete 20 challenges is basically unmissable. You're not going to have any problem with that. Then revive 20 players. That's going to take a little bit of time, but you can revive the same player 20 times, so it's not a big deal. Possess 10,000 caps. You don't need to have 10,000 all at once. Play a holotape game. There's certain places where you can get them. 5 giant creatures is basically unmissable at this point in time. Discover locations is pretty much unmissable. Then you have your 3 kill-related trophies. You have to kill a wanted player and 20 total players. You can boost this. I highly recommend boosting it, because, once again, everyone tends to have really overpowered builds that's still playing the game, and you're probably going to get your butt handed to you if you try to fight them. Kill creatures is unmissable. Gather junk is unmissable. The photos, you can take the same photo 20 times. A single bobblehead is easy, and you'll probably find 10 throughout the course of your adventure anyway. Level up, already talked about leveling up, and this trophy is for completing the final story mission, which is launching a nuke. The only thing I don't like about that quest is that it tends to crash and kick you out of the server during this quest. It's happened to me multiple times when I've tried to launch a nuke just for one reason or another. Like, more recently, I was trying to do it to get a tadpole badge, and it crashed on me in the final room, or kicked me out of the server. So that's always a problem. I highly recommend going in with a full team just to make it go a little bit more easily, unless you have a really overpowered build. So yeah, that is Fallout 76. Overall, I would put the game at a 3 to 4 out of 10 to Platinum, especially if you were playing... It was definitely a 4 out of 10 if you were playing it when the game came out. Now, you could argue that it could be a little bit lower, but the time to Platinum is still way up there. The time to Platinum is still over 100 hours, and Wastelanders is probably going to take an average player 50 hours or more to do, so you're looking at over 150 hours most likely to 100% this game. So it's a big time sink, but the game has at least gotten better, so there's that. Next up, Call of Duty Ghosts. You are seeing that completion go way up. And I've only got 9, or no, I don't think it's 9 trophies. I think it's, no, it is 9 trophies. I got exactly 9 trophies left in the game, which is awesome. And arguably the 2 hardest DLCs are done, so we'll look at all the DLCs currently, though. So for Nightfall, Nightfall is considered by many to be the hardest map. I really don't understand why, because I didn't really have trouble with Nightfall on either version of the game. For whatever reason, like, it was one of my easier maps on both versions of the game. So you get the first 3 trophies for completing the map for your first time. You have to kill the breeder in under 5 minutes. You just have to know what you're doing in the fight. It's not too terribly difficult. This one's a little bit annoying. You have to kill 50 cryptids in a single game with the Venom X. You just don't get a lot of ammo for it. So I would recommend, once you pick up the Venom X after each hive you destroy, walk back outside and wait for enemies to spawn in. A whole bunch of them will spawn in like almost infinitely. And you can easily just start killing out there and get a lot of progress just by doing that, as well as on the hives themselves. So it's not too terribly difficult. You shouldn't have too much of a problem with that one, as long as you know what you're doing. Then you have to complete all challenges and kill the breeder, which is your typical completionist trophy, generally the hardest trophy on these maps. The relic one for this map really isn't that difficult. Now, the relic is a little questionable as to which one is the best, because I've done some of the challenges, like I've done some of them using the one that slows your movement. That one's annoying. I've done some with the one that limits the amount of ammo you get. I actually did that for Exodus, surprisingly enough. And I've also done the one where you deal less damage, because if you have the weapon specialist class, it's technically negated, so like the negative is negated by your class in general, making you sort of average overall until you get it up to the max level where you get the 50% boost. You have to kill 5 phantoms in a game. I actually didn't get this in my first try, surprisingly, because I guess the guy I was playing it with was too good, because I actually, on this map, me and the guy that I was playing it with, it was just 2 of us. We got through the map, we killed the breeder in under 5 minutes, we completed all the challenges, and I had a relic on, all on our first try. Did all of them in a single run, surprisingly. So it didn't give us like any trouble in that sense, which is really ironic given the state of the next map. But I didn't actually get the Phantom one done. I must have only gotten like 3 or 4, maybe traps or turrets don't count. I don't know, but it's not difficult as long as you're, especially if you're playing with 2 people, you'll probably get it naturally, unless I guess the other player was better, because he also had Cryptid Slayer ammo. He was one of the super high level, long time players of the mode. Rhino with only a pistol is easy as long as you know you're going for it, and as long as no one else attacks it and there's no turrets or anything out to shoot it. And then, of course, I already had the intel and the extra XP challenge. Next up, we have Devastation. This is Mayday. Now, this is generally considered to be the easiest of the 4 maps, yet it's currently giving me the most trouble out of the 4. Now, I haven't actually played Awakening yet on the PS3 version, really. That's the one that I still have to do a lot of work on. So you get your trophies for completing the map, the first 3, as well as killing the Kraken with a relic. So that's your just complete the map and complete it with a relic. Nothing too bad there. Mayday is considered, like I said, to generally be the easiest. But Completionist keeps screwing us over on this map. The first 2 times it was with that guy that was really, really good, that had the Cryptid Slayer ammo and everything. And both times we got to the final area, the final like room with the last 3 hives, and both times we got screwed by the challenges, just the worst possible challenges. In that last room, we got the Seeker challenge, the Marked Alien challenge, and the No Reload challenge consecutively. No chance we were beating that no matter how good you are. You gotta be extremely lucky with that. And then the next run, we got to the final hive, and guess what challenge we got? Kill 5 airborne aliens in the room that doesn't have any traps. Yep, that was very pleasant. Go all the way that far and don't get it, because the game screws us. And then the other guy I've been trying to play it with, we just keep not being able to finish the map because one of us dies, usually him, and we can't end up finishing it. Can't finish the challenges either. We also got kind of unlucky with getting the shotgun challenge in the final room, where you don't really want to be having a shotgun. Hopefully I can get through this week. I really need to, because it's really not a hard trophy. This is the easiest map. We just can't seem to get through it. Just keep having things go wrong, which again is ironic given the state of the other maps. The 15-seater turrets is very easy. You can do this one just by, kill 15 of them. You'll probably get this naturally in a lot of games. The Hypno Trap to turn a Rhino friendly, you just have to build the Hypno Trap and place it in front of a Rhino. That's pretty easy. And then this one, for building all the schematics, I think I told you guys, for some reason this one auto-pops. I don't know why, just by loading into the map the first time if you've completed it on one console. So, I mean, that's awesome that it auto-popped. It saved me some time, because some of the stuff is a little bit luck-based as to which weapons you can build. It's not a difficult trophy by any means, but it definitely saves a little bit of time to have it auto-pop, which is awesome. I have not done anything on Invasion yet. This is the Awakening map. This map is sort of in the middle in difficulty, but it is the most time-consuming because of this little prickish trophy down here, Escape Awakening with all 4 classes, meaning you have to escape a minimum, or you have to play through a minimum of 4 times. I mean, you can do it all on regular, but you have to do it 4 total times, which sucks because that takes a very long time. And if you don't have the class upgrades or you're not as good at one class, that can make it harder. This one's also really obnoxious. Kill 5 cryptids with the arc attached to each compatible weapon. There's 12 different weapons and some of them suck. And you have to find the arc in the first place, which requires a little bit of luck and fighting usually a mammoth, which is always fun. The gargoyle with the vanguard's really easy. I'm not worried about that one at all. Then you also have 3 escape trophies, which those aren't much of a problem, but you have to complete all challenges in escape, which is not terrible on this map. I think we got it on either our first or second try on the PS4 in a 3-person group. And then this one's also really annoying, that you have to actually escape this map with 2 relics instead of just 1. Now, I don't know which 2 I'm going to run. I'm probably going to run the slower movement speed and the deal less damage, because I really was not a fan of having less ammo. Or maybe I'll run the less ammo with one of those others. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but it's not terrible as long as people are popping ammo constantly, especially if you have someone with Cryptid Slayer ammo, which I don't even think I had for any of the maps on PS4. And the other biggie here, Nemesis, aka Exodus, is done. I personally consider Exodus to be the hardest trophy list, even if it's not necessarily the hardest map to play once you know how to play it. I would definitely say it's probably the hardest trophy list, just because of a couple of specific ones. You only get 2 trophies, this one up here, Mass Exodus, and Postmaster for simply completing the map. So those are your 2 for completing the map. You have your collectibles and your extra XP challenge. Those aren't a big deal, obviously. But then you have a bunch of other miscellaneous trophies. You have to complete the map using a relic, which is, what you'd expect. You have to get Completionist, which is, complete the map with a relic, or no, complete the map with all challenges. I'm getting confused here because it's late at night. So yeah, complete the map with all challenges, which can be very difficult on this map if you get really unlucky. Like the Seeker one tends to be kind of unforgiving. You got stuff where you gotta kill the gargoyle with melee, and there can be some really tough challenges on this map. You can even have the one where you have to kill the ones that are at higher ground on this map, which is awful if you get it right near the end. And then you have to kill the final 3 ancestors within 10 seconds of killing the first. That's actually very easy. Just leave the 3 ancestors alive at the end of the game and run and hide outside of the walls. They won't follow you there. And then just wait until the thing is charged up and sprint on in and activate it all at once. Not too difficult. Hit an ancestor with a Hypno Knife. It doesn't actually do anything except get you this trophy, but that's very easy as long as you find a Hypno Knife. The NX1 trophy down here, just get a triple kill with it. That's pretty easy. You'll probably get that naturally as long as you build it. And then, of course, you have to beat the map on hardcore with a relic. But you'll see, based on the timestamps, that we actually completed the map on hardcore. It was 4 of us. We completed the map on hardcore, completing all challenges, all in a single run with every person using a relic. Except for the guy that was helping us out. He didn't have a relic running, but he also had Cryptid Slayer ammo. So we actually did that. So that was pretty awesome, actually, that we got through it that way. I was expecting this map to be a lot worse. But anyway, as for the DLCs, I would say that Onslaught's maybe a 4 out of 10 overall at most, even though I really didn't have much trouble with it on either console. It has some annoying miscellaneous trophies, but it's not too terribly bad overall. Nemesis, I would still say, is around a 5 out of 10, but again, we actually got through it pretty easily that time, surprisingly. It only took us 2 tries to beat it under those conditions, which is quite surprising. I think Invasion was around a 4 out of 10, but I also heard that that trophy will auto-pop at the bottom for completing it with all 4 classes if you've done it on the other console once you escape for your first time. I really hope that's true, because that would save me like 3 or 4 hours. And then Devastation, I'd still say it's around a 3 out of 10. I just got to have a good partner with a lucky run with better challenges, not getting screwed over by bad challenges. But each DLC, like, Nightfall will take, 4 or 5 hours. Same with Mayday. Same with Exodus. Actually, Exodus might even take less time. So this one, though, will take you more like 8 to 10 hours because of that one multi-escape trophy. So there's that. But that game is nearly done. I will definitely get through Mayday this week, and hopefully through Awakening as well. So I'd love to get through this game and have it done to 100%. Then I'm going to take a week or two off from hunting PS3 online games in preparation for my last big boost on PS3 ever, which is, of course, Battlefield 3. Need to look more into the trophies and stuff. I think that one only requires 4 people for everything that I have left in, and I know that there's one medal that requires 6, but I've already got that one done. So, I got a triple platinum this week in Mochi Mochi Boy. This is a Ratalaika game. I decided to do that because I need to grind out those trophy numbers a little bit in preparation for all the big summer games coming out, because, Last of Us 2 is next week, next Friday. The Tuesday after that is SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. Destroy All Humans and Ghost of Tsushima are both in July, and I'm sure that there's other games that I'm forgetting that are also big that are coming out over the next month or so. So yeah, I needed to grind those numbers out so I can get a good platinum for number 450, so I went ahead and tripled up on this game. I've got a few others because there's a good sale going on for Ratalaika games right now on the PSN store. There's a whole bunch of games that were on sale from their collection. Some of which I already had, some of which I didn't have, so I went ahead and just picked up a few other easy platinums. Mochi Mochi Boy is a pretty easy platinum, and it doesn't take as long as the trophies will show, because this is my first version of the game, the North American PS4. Because I did North American PS4, then EU PS4, then North American Vita, and I got shorter times on each run. I think that the Vita version took me around 13 minutes, and you can still do it even a little bit faster than that. But the trophy list is the same for each version of the game, and to get the platinum you have to find 6 slimes, which will be unlocked naturally while completing the first 29 levels of the tower mode. You don't actually have to complete level 30, you just have to get to level 30. So that's nice, so you just have to complete the first 29 levels. You can easily follow a guide for this, you're not going to have any problem with it as long as you follow a guide. Just get through it in, 10 to 12 minutes, no real problems there. The game plays a little bit like that old Snake game where you have to have the snake wrap around the playable area repeatedly without touching itself. That's sort of the best way I can put the rules of this game, because it's kind of the same way. You just have to move your mochi ball thing around the path and fill in every single square. So it's a very easy game as long as you follow a guide. There are 2 miscellaneous trophies down here for the dungeon mode. You have to reach the 3rd level, which means you have to complete the first 2 levels. Now, in dungeon mode, every level is randomized, except for the first level. The first level, it may have different powers on it, and also the levels are timed, but it may have different powers on it, but it's always just a straight shot down that only takes a couple seconds. So level 1's always really easy. Level 2 is always something random, but even if you fail a couple of times, you'll get a lucky run eventually that'll make it very easy to do. So you're not really going to have much of a problem with that, even though it does require just the tiniest bit of skill. So, this game is, of course, a very easy platinum, and it takes 15 to 25 minutes. It's really not much more to talk about. But as you guys know, I only do 3 versions of the game. I'll do the North American versions as well as the EU PS4 version. Nothing else beyond that. And finally, as for trophy progress this week, we got Sly 3 on the PS Vita. I already told you guys why I have this on my list now, because I bring my Vita with me to work and get to play the game during a good portion of the night. So I decided, hey, might as well make a little bit of trophy progress while I'm there. Now, I don't know if I'll get this one done this week. I'm going to try to, but I'm making decent progress on it. Every trophy in this first area, like through there, is story related. So, and actually this one as well. So every trophy through there is story related. You'll unlock all those by simply completing the story. Sly 3 doesn't have really as much, I guess, beef to it as some of the other games in terms of like collectibles, because there aren't any collectibles. There are no clue bottles, there are no safes or anything, which is different from the other 3 Sly games. In this case, you get all of your trophies by completing the game, purchasing certain items, and completing the challenges. So 100% completion and buying certain items. So it's a little bit different in that it's only those requirements, because it's sort of like Sly 1 was focused entirely on completion and collectibles. Sly 2 was focused entirely on purchasing items and story completion. Sly 3 is focused entirely on story completion and challenges, while Sly 4 is a combination of all 3 previous games in that it has a combination of trophies for the story, miscellaneous trophies for certain missions, even though you can replay the missions, collectible trophies, and challenge-type trophies and minigame trophies. So it's kind of the culmination of all of them, and it's why Sly 4 is... I mean, I really am not a fan of Sly 4, personally, but I know that maybe some people like it. It also ends on a really bad cliffhanger that I don't know if we're ever going to get resolved. Even, hopefully on the PS5 we'll get another entry. But we went the whole PS4 generation without an entry, so I don't know. I guess we'll see. But anyway, you have, this one is a purchasable item, but you actually will have to purchase this to progress through the story anyway. This is another story-related trophy. Then you have to collect a total of 500 coins. You have to have 500 with you at any given time for this trophy and the other collectible trophies for coins. This is another item. I think you actually do need it to end up beating the game, but it is a purchasable item. Story-related, this one I'm pretty sure is not required to beat the story, but I could be wrong, but it is a purchasable item. Story-related, boss for Chapter 1, boss for Chapter 2, boss for Chapter 3, one of the bosses for Chapter 4, one of 2 bosses for Chapter 4, and it's the later boss of the 2. Boss of Chapter 5, boss of Chapter 6, final boss. Or, wait, maybe those are both Chapter 6 and then final boss or something. I don't know. Or maybe these are both Chapter 5, and then this is Chapter 6, final boss. Regardless, it's been a long time since I played this game on the PS3, even though I have done it on PS3. Collect 1,000 coins at once, as well as 2,500 coins at once, so you have to have that many with you at once. There's a very easy way to grind coins in the 5th area when you're in the pirate ships. That's the best place to do it. I'm not quite there yet. I'm near the end of the 4th area, so I've got a ways to go to get to that point. Then you have to complete a total of 100% of the game, which is the last trophy down here. That's the hardest trophy in the game. I'll explain a little more in a minute. These 2 are both purchasable items. The hover pack is required to progress the story. I don't think the Diablo Fire Slam is, but I could be wrong. I don't believe these Sly attacks are required either for completion, but they are purchasable items, so you just need to grind coins for them. Nothing too difficult there. But the 100% completion of the game is a bit more of a different story. It's what makes this arguably the hardest of the Sly games. Just because most of it's easy because a lot of it's story related, but the rest of it comes from completing all of the game's challenges. And there are a certain number of challenges for each of the 6 chapters, and some of those challenges are very difficult, infuriating, and or just plain unfair. Because they basically put you into scenarios from the base game and give you different requirements, such as you have to take less damage, or you have, you have a time limit. That's really the 2 requirements. And some of the challenges are pretty easy, but some of them can be quite obnoxious and or infuriating just because certain aspects of the game don't play very well on the Vita and just are not good to play through. So I'm not looking forward to finishing the rest of the challenges, but for some of them I may wait until I can purchase more items from the store and maybe purchase everything first, because that should make some of them actually a little bit easier. But at this point in time, I'm sitting at around 51% completion. I have finished the story and every currently available challenge in the first 3 areas. There's one more challenge that's going to pop up in each area once you finish the 5th level. So that one I don't think is very difficult, though I think that's a pretty easy one. It's something fairly simple. So hopefully I'll come close to finishing the game by the end of the week, or maybe even have it finished. I don't know yet, though. We'll have to see. So, with that, level 74, 87%, 18,535 total trophies, 444 platinums, 2,566 golds, 4,865 silvers, 10,660 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Hopefully the schedule will be kind of normalized this week. The video on Monday of this, the Platinum Trophy video on Tuesday, something else on Wednesday, maybe a trophy list analysis will come out in here because I know that the Last of Us trophy list has been revealed. But we'll see exactly how all that ends up working out. And hopefully there will be more than one stream this week, but I can't guarantee anything. Plus, I think I might be doing something with my parents because it's Father's Day this weekend. So that might also take up some time this weekend or streaming time. I don't know yet. So we'll just play it by ear like we're kind of having to nowadays anyway. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm just got to get 5 more platinums between now and the release of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, which I can very easily triple stack one more Ratalaika game and get another platinum in there somewhere, another 2 platinums in there somewhere. Maybe I get done with Sly 3, maybe I get done with something else. I don't know, we'll have to see. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the PlayStation 5 showcase that came out this past week. That was exciting, even though some of the games were very questionable, to say the least. And I will see you guys this week for hopefully more normal schedule.